Hello everyone and welcome to the King of the Ring podcast. My name is Anthony, I'm the host of the podcast, and joining me is the co-host of the podcast, the Paul Heyman to me. It is Michael. How are you doing,
Yeah,
Michael?
I'm good, thank you very much.
So,
What?
oh, right, sorry. But,
Yeah.
basically, this is a new podcast, for this channel. It's going to be primarily wrestling, or pretty much all wrestling. We're going to be talking about old wrestling, new wrestling, where we think it might be going in the future, all sorts of stuff. So if you have any topics you want us to talk about, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Maybe leave some feedback on how you think we did, where do you think we should go, that sort of thing. So if you do that, that'd be awesome. So basically today, guys, we're going to be talking about Extreme Rules 2014 and what we thought and how we thought the whole thing went, pretty much. So me and Michael both watched it, and we're going to go through the matches one by one, and we're going to sort of like give our sort of opinions on it and where we thought it sort of could have went better, that sort of thing. So Michael, let's first talk about the triple threat match, the Cesaro, Rob Van Dam, and Jack Swagger. What did you think of that match?
Oh crap! This was one I think I might have missed as well. Was this the pre-show? Because I stayed up
No,
till
no, it was the first show of the match.
yeah. Basically, I missed this match.
Alright, well,
So I'm
so
just gonna.
basically, Cesaro wins by pinfall. Jack Swagger's the first one to get eliminated. And, yeah, what do you call it? Swagger gets 5-star frog splashed and pinned, and he's eliminated. And then, I think, Rob Van Dam puts the trash can on Cesaro and goes to, like, F5 him, but Cesaro, like, moves out the way. And RVD takes a heavy bump right onto his eye. And then Cesaro neutralizes him onto the bin and picks the cover up. It was a decent match. It wasn't the best match. Let's just put it that way. It wasn't a sort of match where you thought, you know, holy shit, I wanted that to go longer than what it did. It was an alright match. You said you missed it though, didn't you?
Yeah, connection that I was watching on was really terrible.
Yeah. To be honest, you didn't really miss anything. The only thing I'm really confused about is, is Cesaro a face or a heel? Because Paul Heyman comes out and he does the whole "my client Brock Lesnar beat the streak," and that automatically gets him a lot of heat. And then when after that you introduce Cesaro, the crowd's still a bit like booing him and stuff, and it's like, is he doing this because he wants Cesaro to go heel? You know, can Paul Heyman only work with heels? Is that a thing? Like, you have to be a bad guy? Because I mean, when he worked with CM Punk was sort of like transitioning into a bad guy, wasn't he?
He was.
And I think he can only work with bad guys because he's good at getting heat. Because he's always been sort of a heel manager. And I think they're trying to make Cesaro a bad guy, so he can so it's easy to work with Paul Heyman anyway when he's doing these promos. Decent match. What are they doing with Jack Swagger? Like, I just don't understand. Like, if I was that lad, I would literally just like look at my options and just go, you know, fuck it, I'll just go somewhere else. Because he's just getting shit on, and he's not getting any chances. He's jobbing all the time. And it's like, if you love wrestling, I mean, then you'd be glad to be there, but sometimes that's just not good enough. You have to have, like, some reason to stay there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with his partner Cesaro now, because everyone's finding out how good he was. I've seen a few of his indie matches, and holy shit, that guy can wrestle. And now he's on the top, and he pushed Swagger sort of down. You know, Swagger's not really doing much, and I think Swagger will end up getting released, to be honest. I think he'll end up getting, like, sort of let go from his contract. And I think that's pretty much how that'll go. So we'll move on to the next match, which is Alexander Rusev versus Xavier Woods and R-Truth. For me,
this was my submission, wasn't it?
Yeah, for me, this was just like a squash match.
Yeah, it really was. It didn't even last like 3 minutes, did it? So
I mean, when you look at this match, you think they cannot let Rusev get pinned, because then that makes him look weak. And they're
yeah,
doing this whole thing where, oh, the Bulgarian brute Alexander Rusev thing. He's just a basically more agile fucking Ryback.
it is.
And why do they keep doing these characters? What's Ryback doing now? He's in a fucking tag team. You know what I mean? He's not doing. He's not doing much. I mean, he's on
And
TV and he's getting matches, but like he's not going anywhere. And he's hit a brick wall where he cannot go past. And this match was basically the start, I think, of a long road where Alexander Rusev's gonna go nowhere, and he's just gonna continue just to fucking squash these people who don't have any gimmicks, or the gimmicks they do have aren't over enough to get them in the mid card or the upper mid card. You know what I mean?
mhm.
So the finish was the camel clutch. He calls it the accolade, which sounds retarded. It's the camel clutch. Um, yeah, I mean,
you you've got to admire his effort there to sort of give it a name, but
yeah.
really it's just
Apparently,
that.
it says here 2 years ago, Ryback had a two people at Extreme Rules. So it's like, you know where this is gonna go. You know, Vince loves these big muscly guys who just have nothing but pure strength. And this
Yeah,
guy has a bit more than pure strength. He has like the agility and the flexibility to do like kicks and like moves. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes from there. But for me, he'll probably end up getting chucked into a shitty
mid
feud in
card.
the mid card or the lower mid card. He might turn into a jobber eventually. So
Yeah, I think all superstars end up like start off their career sort of as jobbers, even if they don't have a gimmick. They sort of
you
work
have to
towards one.
sort of pay
I
your
mean,
dues to
yeah.
to get like to the top. You know
Oh
what
yeah,
I mean?
absolutely. Because I think when John Cena started out with the whole thugonomics thing, I mean, I watched it just last night. It was an old YouTube video of him versus like Rey Mysterio and that,
Mm,
and he had to win with a low blow, and then the FU. Oh no, we can't
yeah,
say that now. It's the
yeah,
AA.
yeah. The attitude adjustment. So, but the next match is the Intercontinental match. And I'm
And
afraid I've got
I've got
some
some bad
bad
news.
news. I love Wade Barrett. I mean, the fact that he's English as well just makes him even better. But he's got a lot of following and hype at the minute. And if he lost here, that would have been it. I mean, you look at Big E. What's he doing? What's his gimmick? You know what I mean? He doesn't really have a gimmick at the minute. He's just sort of that big black guy with massive tits who just stands there and like pulls his thing off. Was he Kurt Angle now or the Big Show? Like, why does he
The
pull it?
straps are coming down.
Why does everyone have to get the pecs out? It's like just keep them in your singlet, mate. But
Especially when it's like he's got sagging man breasts. It just doesn't look right at all.
But for me, like, I don't know what he's meant to be. Like, his character, obviously with Bad News Barrett, he's a deliverer of bad news with these segments and stuff like that. That's his gimmick. But Big E doesn't really have a gimmick. When you hear him come out on Monday Night Raw, just recently, Big E, the crowd was silent when he came out. Like, he's not over or he's not hated. It's just no one gives a shit about Big E, and they could have done something with him. I think they'll end up probably putting him back with fucking Ziggler, to be honest. But
Hmm.
I think that's probably where they'll go with that, because Ziggler's not doing anything and Big E's not doing anything. So like, why not put them together when they did something and
Yeah.
hopefully recreate it? So, but Bad News Barrett, I believe he was going for the bullhammer. Big E ducked, and then he did a running bullhammer. That was the finish, I think. Aye,
Yeah, it was. It was.
aye.
Yeah.
It was pretty badass. Hopefully, he like does that more often. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like a running one. I think that'd be awesome. Hopefully, like he does. Like, how cool would this be if he did it off the top rope, like off the turnbuckle? he did like a jumping elbow. I think that'd be badass.
Yeah,
I think that'd be really cool. But
yeah,
Bad News Barrett was it was a good match.
it was. Yeah,
It was a good match. They both put on a good show. As much as I don't really like Big E's character and where he's going, they put on a good show. It was a decent match. Obviously, everyone in the arena wanted Bad News Barrett to win, and when he did, he got a good pop for it. And hopefully now he's a 4-time Intercontinental Champion.
yeah,
Hopefully, he can become a more, I don't know, a more solidified force in the WWE at the minute.
yeah. Like be a more higher card
Yeah,
superstar. Right?
yeah, I
Yeah,
want him to be like more like sort of. I wouldn't say main event just yet, but I think just under main event.
yeah,
So fighting two beyond the main event shows. I think that's where
yeah,
he should be right now, just
yeah.
to
Just
make the Intercontinental title more valuable. I think that'd be a great way for that. I mean, how do you? What do you think about the Intercontinental belt now that Bad News has it?
I've always seen the Intercontinental belt as more prestigious than the US title. To be fair,
Yeah,
because I think we had this discussion on a previous podcast
yeah.
before,
Another
saying
podcast we have, I.
yeah, um, saying that the Intercontinental belt. You think of that and all the superstars that have held it, like
Yeah, it's
Ultimate
very
Warrior.
prestigious. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
the biggest names in sports entertainment have held the Intercontinental belt. The Rock, Triple H, the like, Ultimate Warrior. Like these people,
Yeah,
massive sort of titans of the business have held this Intercontinental belt. And recently, like over the last 5 years, it hasn't really been anywhere or done anything.
yeah.
And
I think it's probably because like the superstars on the roster today haven't really sort of done enough to be on the same sort of
yeah,
wavelength
for
as.
me, I always think as the Intercontinental belt as a wrestler's belt. I
Yeah,
used to think that of the European title when the
yeah,
likes of William Regal had it.
yeah.
It was more of a wrestler's belt, and the World Heavyweight was more of an entertainer's belt. Like
Yeah,
the top cream of the cream who can entertain the crowd, sell the tickets out. They get the belt. Like the John Cena's, the CM
yeah,
Punks, and now Daniel Bryan. Now he's the most sort of over in the company.
yeah. It
They're in
is.
the main event, and then you have these guys who are, I would say, probably more more well-rounded in the ring, are going for the Intercontinental belt, and I think that's the way it should be. Um, so I think we'll move on to the next match, which, in
Oh
my
yes.
opinion, it was a decent match for me, but I think I'm just sick of tag matches.
Yeah.
I just don't like tag team matches anymore. Goddamn Teddy Long, right? He's ruined tag team matches for me. Every SmackDown had a tag match as the main event. It was just random faces against random heels. You know what I mean?
It was
And just
so
so
bad.
the Shield versus Evolution. For me, I would have had Evolution go over, right?
Yeah.
Because they've just came back and they're like turn around, believe in evolution, all this shit. And then
Adapt or
when they
perish.
lose, when they lose, that makes them look like crap.
It
And
really did.
I'm just like, the Shield's already over. The Shield could have took a loss, right?
Hmm.
The Shield could have took a loss, and it would have done nothing to them. But I think that Evolution should have went over, and they should have said that Evolution always finds a way of overcoming the odds and like sort of getting the best genetics or something. You could have made like some genetics sort of promo and said
Yeah.
that their genetics are much better than the Shields and they possess more like talent, and then they could have like used it as like heel heat, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So basically, this match it had a few good spots, I have to admit.
It did.
Um, the one spot that I was a bit on was the Dean Ambrose running over the tables bit. And
Yeah, the commentators did like sort of make a big deal out of it when it really just You know, it was a flying clothesline, but they were like,
Yeah,
"What a move! What
yeah,
a move! What the hell did he just do?" He just
yeah.
ran and jumped and clotheslined them.
If you look on, if you ever watch it again, if you look when he runs towards them, I don't even think it's a clothesline. I think he sticks his legs out so he connects with them,
Yeah,
or his arms. It could be his arms or his legs, but he doesn't really do anything. He just runs through them and hits them both, and they all like tumble to the floor.
yeah,
But the best spot in my eyes of that match was Seth Rollins with
jumping off the
the sort
top.
of the planche. Well, it's not really a planche, but it's sort of a crossbody off the top
Yeah,
from the stands, and
yeah,
that was awesome because that reminded us of
of like Jeff Hardy doing it.
The Hardy
Yeah,
Boys and Dudley Boys when they used to do it. You know, like back in the day when you
yeah,
used to like go through tables and shit. When Jeff Hardy used to climb up and swanton bomb
yeah,
like Devon through the table or something. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
And as much as like tag team matches have been sort of really, you know, overused by Teddy Long, we haven't really had a sort of tag team that has spanned out for like more than 3 years or something. You know, like the Hardys, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian. How long were they? You know,
Yeah,
basically like a tag team.
they were tag teams for quite a while.
Yeah, and
Um,
like now it's like, you know, you look at the recent sort of tag teams, you
how
know, the
long have the
real Americans.
Shield been together?
About a year or two.
Yeah. To be
Um,
honest, they were talking about breaking them up at the Royal Rumble just gone,
yeah, I can
and
imagine that.
the like I don't know. They seem to be confused. Like they don't know what to do with the Shield at the minute
I reckon they
because
should keep them on.
yeah, they need to keep them on because now the face. I think that they can like sort of use that to their advantage.
But you can
And
still sort of see, like, you know, um, out of all of them, I think Dean Ambrose is going to be the one to sort of split them up with his sort of attitude.
hmm,
Because, like,
that's a good point. They've been sort of using that as a way to split them up.
yeah, plus
And
Dean Ambrose's moveset is so bad. I mean, have you seen him when he came into the ring
do you
in
know what
that
I
six
don't
man?
like? Right, when he does the stupid sort of like
Like, attack punches
a
thing.
flurry of punches,
Yeah, that's the one.
and
It's like, it doesn't
it
even look like it
looks like
hurts.
shit. He's doing basically windmills. And
Yes,
why
he's
not? If you're that bad at striking, why not
shoulder tackle
do
them.
something else? Yeah, just like shoulder tackle them or like kick them or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Just like,
for me, he's just. I don't think he's gonna go anywhere. To be honest, I think if anyone's gonna go anywhere, it's gonna be fucking Reigns
yeah, even
because
Rollins might go somewhere as well.
I think Seth Rollins will end up getting put into the Intercontinental range, right? And
Yeah.
I think Roman will get pushed up into the main event.
I've actually got Roman Reigns on WWE 2K14 as my World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, I think they're gonna push him because he's got the physique, he's got the strength, he's got the look.
He's
Everyone
got,
likes him,
yeah, he's got the fans.
and he's got a good finisher in the spear.
Yeah.
So I think that's all we'll talk about that match. Because to be honest, I didn't really enjoy that match too much, and I know that might seem a bit crazy to some fans, but
Yeah, I was actually really surprised.
it was just too gimmicky. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
the next match we'll go on was just, in my opinion, just awful.
it was.
And that was
The cage.
the steel cage match. John Cena, Bray Wyatt. Now, why couldn't John Cena just take the goddamn pin in this match and put over Bray Wyatt? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He can't, he's not going to let Bray Wyatt take a pin on him because he thinks, oh no, somehow that'll ruin his fucking image if someone pins him. I mean, I cannot remember the last time, like, and it was Money in the Bank, the last big time Cena got a pin on him when CM Punk won.
Yeah.
Like, for me, he doesn't take the pin enough, and I think that would have, like when the kid was talking into the thing, right?
Yeah.
I think what should have happened is he turned around, he did Sister Abigail him, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I think you should have pinned him. I don't think you should have walked out the cage. I think you should have pinned him, even with the door open, and that would have got him more over, and that would have made him more of a legitimate contender than just fucking walking out the cage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which one are we talking
John,
about here, Bray Wyatt?
yeah. And
Aye.
John Cena cannot seriously sell the cage at all.
He really
Like, he's
can.
so awful at selling moves anyway.
Yeah.
And one bit I did like is where Eric Rowan, like, how quick is he to climb up that goddamn cage?
It's because he's about half the friggin' size of it. I mean, like one step,
Yeah.
one sort
Yeah,
of
he just puts
climb.
his foot on and he's at the top.
Exactly. It's like he is 15 foot tall. How do you like to fall off a 15-foot Eric Rowan?
Exactly. You can't. Ultimate death. But I love the bit where Cena was climbing out and Eric Rowan just like lifted him up on his shoulders.
That was amazing.
That was pretty sweet.
I
Imagine
did.
for the next wrestling game if you could have like a cage match with someone, but they had managers on the outside,
Yeah.
and they would like try and like stop you, like hitting you when you're like climbing down, and it would force you to either climb back up to get away or to change your path or something.
Yeah. I cannot remember too well, but I can slightly remember watching a cage match when I was younger. I think it was like the Hardys versus possibly like Edge and Christian.
Right.
And I think Edge and Christian, one of them escapes, and I think it was Jeff Hardy was trying to climb over the top of the cage. But
Right.
just as the Hardy, I think it was Jeff trying to jump out of the cage. I think it was Christian on the outside opened the cage door. So when he sort of jumped off the top of the cage, he landed nuts first on the top of the door.
Nice. Oh, I can remember that. Aye.
That,
I can remember that now you said that. I can remember that clearly, aye. That was
I
pretty
see
sweet.
clearly.
Exactly. He's back. But yeah, so this match was pretty awful. It had a few. The best thing of the match was definitely that kid with the thing. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that little
It
noise thing
went.
with the
I think
sheep mask.
that the match went on a little bit too long for me.
Yeah, although that attitude adjustment from the second rope as well, that
That was
wasn't
cool.
too bad. That was awesome.
That was pretty sweet. Hopefully that's a new move on the next wrestling game 2K15.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the next match we'll move on to is Tamina Snuka versus Paige. Now for me,
The whitest woman in the world.
I don't know how this was so high up the card, and no disrespect to the women on the roster, but for me, they don't deserve to be up there.
I think
They
this was a
deserve to be. I think the John Cena match should be where this was, and this Tamina's Page one was before the Shield. So
yeah.
it was the Tamina Snuka versus Page,
Yeah.
Shield Evolution, then the Cage, then the Daniel Bryan match.
I think
But-
this was more of a transition sort of match, to be fair,
Yeah.
because like they didn't sort of want the fans to sort of sit there on the edges of their seats, you know, because
Yeah.
most people probably don't watch the Divas for whatever reason. But you know, they've just sat and watched like a 20 minutes long or whatever it was, however long that cage match went on for.
Now, surprisingly, I liked this match.
Yeah, it was different.
Wasn't that bad. Like Tamina Snuka and Paige seemed like they had, I don't know, a good chemistry in the ring when
They
they're
did.
fighting each other. And I like that. Hopefully, they can do something with that and not
Yeah.
just sort of like, I don't know, because now Tamina Snuka isn't AJ Lee's manager.
Yeah, the little bodyguard.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with her. For me, I don't know why they give it to Paige. They probably should have given it to someone like a bit more experienced, like Natalia or someone like that, and then have
Yeah.
Paige fight against her to make Paige look strong instead of making Paige look like she was completely lucky, because that's not putting over her character that well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think after
it would've made a lot more sense. But
I think after the Extreme Rules, though, after what happened there, that would make a character look stronger than what people might have first, you know.
oh, was that with the submission?
Yeah, with the submission at the end of it, yeah.
Why do the women now have submission finishes?
Ah, man.
If you think about it, the three top divas at the minute, right? Paige, AJ Lee, and Natalia. Their finishes, all
Sharpshooter,
submissions.
Black Widow.
Sharpshooter, Black Widow, and whatever Paige's move's called. I'll find it now with the Scorpion Crosslock. So they've all got submission. Why can they not do normal moves? Do they not get trained to do normal moves?
I think it's probably because like as opposed to men's matches where they can hit them with about 10 finishes in a match and then still kick
Yeah.
out to death.
Well, are you talking about The Rock, John Cena?
I was, unfortunately.
That was such a bad match.
It really was.
But
Anyway, moving on. We were. It's like the Divas matches, you notice they hit one finisher and then it's like easy 3 count.
I
I think
like that. I like that when
yeah, it is
it
is
makes the
good.
finisher look more powerful than what it is.
Yeah, it
You know
really
what I mean?
does. Yeah,
And
it's
I
like
think that's the thing to take away, that they're making the divas sort of
yeah,
have more, I don't know, more meaningful finishes, even if it is a
yeah,
submission. I think if they do, say if she locks on one and then she breaks out of it, that doesn't make the finisher look very good. You know what
uh-huh.
I mean?
Yeah, because I
So
mean, even the men escape each other's finishes. I mean, how many times
yeah,
was the
exactly.
STF and
Yeah,
Sharpshooter applied in
I
the
like
Rock and
the
Cena match?
reversed. If you look at the amount of
Yeah,
reversed finishes, RKO,
yeah,
stunner, rock bottom, easy to reverse. But
yeah. Tombstone.
I think they're making them harder to reverse and make the finishes more meaningful, and hopefully that can, this Tamina Snooker Page thing, I think will probably score to payback for a rematch.
Hmm. Was there
And
even like a rivalry between these two?
I don't think there was. I think Tamina Snooker might have been the number one contender. I'm not entirely sure though. But I mean, I'm not going to say that she was, just in case she isn't, because I don't want to sound like a retard. But I think she might have been the number one contender for
Yeah.
this match, or she might have been just the most over out in the
Uh,
locker room or something, or the
yeah.
most favoured. And
Yeah.
I
Because
think she might have got a shot. But what I want to happen now is for Tamina to go to Payback versus Paige. And I want something different from a Davis match. How about a last man standing between them?
a last woman standing.
Yeah, I just call it a last man
'Cause
standing match, but with two women in, and
yeah. Because
I think that would put over them a lot more. They could have a 10-minute match or whatever. Let them
yeah.
work, let them get loads of moves, and let them put them over. And I think that'll really put over the divas who were in the match and the division in general.
Yeah.
So I think that's what should happen, but it's probably
Yeah.
just not going to happen. So
Yeah.
now,
That'll never happen.
we're on to the big dog here. We are
Yep.
on to the main event.
Yeah.
Um, For me, it was quite a good match.
It was
Um,
good. I called it before. I said it. You know, this match to me, Daniel Bryan was always going to win
oh yeah,
because
Kane was never gonna win.
nah,
Like, if Kane won, the ratings would have just absolutely just went to hell on this pay per view.
-5.
Like, it would have been like, -2 stars. That's a WCW reference. But
One that I got on the other podcast.
yep. So they were fighting backstage. The thing what really sort of, I don't know, made it a bit was the whole forklift thing.
Yeah, that was confusing to me.
It went
Although I did
on
find
it
it
went on a
hilarious.
little bit too long for me.
Yeah,
And
but the funny thing was though, right? You saw Daniel Bryan trying to drag Kane like back towards the ring. Maybe he's realized he couldn't drag him. Then all of a sudden, he gets like these magical, incredible Hulk powers to drag him to the forklift.
yeah,
Where did
yeah,
that strength come from? Use that to fucking drag his
steroids.
ass to the ring.
That's what it is, mate. It's just steroids. But
Hmm.
so basically, Kane was on the forklift. He pushed him into the ring, and then he did the
The
Chris
diving
Benoit
headbutt. Yeah, Chris.
diving headbutt, and it looked pretty cool. I have to admit that. Looked
Yeah,
pretty
he
cool.
always gets the crowd over with the yes chants, especially when he's high up.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then, but basically, Kane, he choke slammed him, kicked out, DDT onto a chair. I think it was
that
was it a tornado or was it a normal DDT? It might have been just a normal
normal
DDT.
one. Yeah, but
And then he
that
did the,
choke slam now to me is just so weak.
yeah, and he got him in a yes lock with the kendo stick.
Yeah, that
And
looked to me like he was gonna tap out.
yeah, and then he choke slammed Bryan through a table, the announcer's table, and then Kane set the table on fire, and I was like, that's pretty cool. I like flaming
Burning
tables; they're
tables.
awesome. And then Bryan, what did he like? He shook the ropes, didn't he? For me, I think he should have like done his kick in the head,
Yeah.
and then Kane fell off.
Uh-huh.
Because then that would have made him look like, I don't know, would have made him look a bit better, and like, because it looked like the way he did it was just a bit shoddy. Like I would have preferred
Yeah.
him to do like a kick, or I don't
Diving
know, like,
spear through the ropes or something.
yeah, do you like his suicide plancher, like through the ropes, a suicide
Yeah.
dive? I think that would have been really
Yeah,
good.
his
You know
double
what I
murder
mean?
suicide dive.
Dive, exactly. And he would have do it through the second rope, put him through the table, and that would have been awesome. But anyway, Kane, you gotta love how quick they were onto Kane. Like, I don't even think he was on fire. Like, he went through the table, and like his clothes or anything went on fire, and the bloody fire extinguisher the living shit out of him.
That-
They had 3 fire extinguishers on him, probably.
yeah,
And he
there
wasn't
was
even on
one.
fire. He's probably choking off the bloody fumes.
He was, and that to me seemed a bit like a distraction for Kane.
Yeah. And
Like, because you
anyway,
noticed
so
that.
he chucked him in the ring, didn't he? And then
I think
he did the
he was still
flying
spraying
knee.
him as he was climbing back into the ring. It's like, this way to the ring, mate. Come on, ushering him with the
They probably
fire
fucking
extinguisher.
sprayed him after the match, even though he was alright.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, you've got a slight burn there.
Oh wait, no, that's from 1997. Sorry.
Ah. They still keep doing it though.
Yeah, exactly. They'll be
But
fire extinguishing him
but
until the year 3000.
the flying knee wins it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he hasn't got like a retarded name for that. It's just running knee in it.
The knee.
The
Oh,
knee
it,
of
it really,
justice.
it wouldn't surprise us one bit if they decided to call it the yes knee.
Yeah, probably something like that. I mean, I like it how they've made Kane back to his original self. You know.
Yeah.
But it's just too
That's
late now. It's too late for Kane.
milking a dead cow.
They've really fucked this up, and I think that they should have done this a long time ago.
Yeah, I
You know what I
quite
mean?
liked what he did on. I think it was like the SmackDown or Raw before, when he tombstoned him like 3 times.
Yeah, that was on Raw.
Yeah, Raw. That one to me was
Oh, it's cool as shit.
that was
I
what
like
Kane
that.
should have done. But I think also what he should have done was attacked some other superstars as well, like some random
Yeah.
jobbers to sort of
Yeah,
send
just-
Daniel Bryan a message.
Yeah, just get the whole job center squad. And
Exactly.
then,
Kick the living shit out of like Rob Van Dam or
Yeah,
3MB.
yeah. So that's all of the matches, guys, and the results and all that sort of stuff. I think now we can possibly talk about maybe the previous couple of Extreme Rules and how we think this whole Extreme Rules thing. For me, I think it's a shit pay-per-view.
It really is awful.
The
When
whole
was the first one? Was
concept,
it 2010 or something?
you can't have Extreme Rules in a PG era. It just doesn't
Yeah.
work. You know what I mean? That's like ECW having a match where they're not allowed to hit you in the head with a chair.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean? It's just not good, and it just looks crap. You
Yeah.
know, and I honestly think they should have scrapped this and went with Backlash, kept Backlash and that. I liked Backlash. I loved Backlash when I think it was Backlash 2000. It might have been where they had the swinging sort of pointy things. Can you remember those? Where they
Yeah.
moved and they came down at the entrance ring. Because like you had a hardcore match, I think, with Taz, the Hardys, Crash Holly, and Perry Saturn, and they were all fighting each other, and like they climbed on the things and like jumped from it, and it was just awesome.
Yeah.
That was very cool, and I just wish they brought that back instead of this shit, because an Extreme Rules pay-per-view, how many extreme things happened? Well, like 3.
It was just god awful.
You know what I mean? You had the table spot, right? You had the Seth Rollins dive,
Yeah, it
And
wasn't
then
even
you
extreme
had-
to be fair.
and then you had maybe the attitude adjustment from the top turnbuckle, but even that's not really extreme. That's the only
Yeah.
thing that came to my head that was slightly dangerous.
Yeah,
And
the tire
me-
laying,
for me,
not really.
everything should be like just balls to the wall at this pay-per-view, you know.
Mhm.
I think that every match should like should be bust open.
Yeah, have like a first blood match again.
Have a first blood match between the divas, lol. But
Yeah,
I
first one
think
get on the period.
exactly. But I think they should, for this night only. I think they should have chair shots to the head. Because
Hmm.
chair shots to the head for one night's not going to turn you into Chris Benoit. That's over a few years. You know what I mean? That's over a few years and making them constantly do head moves, like the headbutt, and like
Yeah,
headbutts is like an attack. That's
yeah,
what's going to
like
mess you up, you know. And I think that that they should have headshot like headshots with the chair. This pay per view, and they need more tables. Just either tables or like I don't know, just go through both the announce tables.
like a stack of tables or something.
Yeah, I want right a suplex outside the ring, like an OMG moment, right? Through two stacked tables on top of the announcer's table.
Yeah, because it'll sort of remind you of like the Hardys and Dudley Boys when
Yeah,
they had like sort of like
I'm
three tables,
surprised.
like a pyramid of friggin' tables,
Yeah,
basically.
can you remember when Kofi Kingston? I don't know if it was at Extreme Rules, or not, it might have been, but where he did this sort of like leg drop from a ladder through the announcer's table. Like,
Um,
I want that sort of shit again.
I
Like,
think I don't know which one you're on about.
put a ladder to the side of the table, put someone on it, and then do like a fucking 450 splash or something through the table.
I'm not sure if that was
Yeah.
Extreme Rules. Was it Extreme Rules or?
It might be Extreme Rules or Money in the Bank. I can't remember, but
Yeah,
and the
it
old ones anyway. But
does
I
sound like it.
think the Extreme Rules should have more hardcore matches, or have all hardcore matches.
Hmm.
Like it doesn't matter what it is. The cage match, fucking chuck chairs in, kendo sticks. You
And get
know,
the crowd in on it as well. Like get the
fucking
crowd to throw it.
the guitar off 2K14. Chuck that bastard
Yeah,
in. Just get everything in, and then just let them go at it in the cage with weapons. That would have been so much better.
yeah,
Because I think what that match needed was something to take it to the extreme level, and it just didn't get there. You know,
yeah.
so
So
I think that would have made that Extreme Rules a lot better. Because when you look at the old Extreme Rules, a lot of them have been fucking just shit, absolutely garbage. And I really think this could have been a perfect chance
mhm.
to really make something out of this pay per view.
Yeah, and it's quite hard to sort of, I reckon that basically Extreme Rules is just like a transition sort of random generic pay-per-view
Yeah, after
to
Mania.
to follow up from WrestleMania because I mean I'm
Yeah,
just looking at previous Extreme Rules matches now. Wait, not matches but pay-per-views. 2011, the attendance there was only 10,000.
yeah. Now
That's shit.
I don't know if that was due to maybe the arena they chose or the attendance for thing, because they generally get good attendance in America. And
It's in Florida.
I really think that this whole Extreme Rules thing, like you said, is just to follow up in case they fucked up on the Mania match and they have a
Yeah,
rematch where the other person wins, sort of thing.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like Bray Wyatt, John Cena. Like Bray Wyatt should have won at Mania. He didn't. John Cena won. So people are like, oh fucking hell, John Cena just won. So they put Bray Wyatt over Extreme Rules the next pay per view. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's just
To
really
sort of add a
annoying.
bit
And
of spice into the
no,
feuds.
I think it's just to please the fans that were pissed off. You know, and I think WWE tries too hard to please everybody,
They do.
and I would rather just please me and brought back hardcore matches.
Yeah. Plays nobody else, just us.
Just exactly, just call me your Michael up, right? I'll get on our Twitters, and we can write some good fucking stories for you.
Yeah, I've actually got a great story on WWE 2K14. It's just Rey Mysterio
Exactly.
gets run over a
Rey
hundred times.
Mysterio gets killed. Great ratings, right? No one likes the Mexican, and you just do it. It would be amazing. So, I think we're gonna call it for this first episode, guys. If you've liked it, please subscribe and drop a like if you have enjoyed it. And you can contact me and Michael on Twitter. I'll put out Twitters in the description if you want to maybe talk about just anything in general or wrestling. We will respond to all the comments on the video, all on Twitter as well. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on the King of the Ring podcast.
Take care.